Hi, first graders. So I wanted to say hi before you start your lesson today. And today's lesson is all about color. And for those of you who had me last year, you learned a lot about color. So part of this may be just a reminder because you're going to learn about primary colors and secondary colors. So we'll talk a little bit about both. I'll have examples of those, and you're going to have a lesson at the end. When you're finished, take a picture of it or have your parents help you with that and send me an email. If you have any questions, send it through Clever. You can message me that way. Take care. Bye. Elements of art. This week, it's color. So remember, the elements of art is the language of art. It's how we describe art and how we create it. So we've studied lines and shape, and today we're going to talk all about color. Every color can be bright, dull, dark, or light. We see color in many different ways. We see it in nature, in flowers. We see it in buildings and architecture, in the books we read, and even in the food we eat. Just like lines and shapes, artists use colors in many different ways. By mixing colors together, we can change the way the color looks. This artist is an abstract artist. He paints with large, bold shapes of color. And this artist uses cut colored paper shapes, and he glues them to a canvas to express his sense of color. Artists often paint the same picture over and over to show the way the light of day changes the color of the picture. In this case, it's a landscape. The outside, as the sun is changing, changes the picture. And sometimes artists use color to get us to think about the picture, to get us to really look at the picture. How does it make you feel? When I look at it, I feel cold. It's a beautiful, quiet winter day. And how does this picture make you feel? It reminds me that a storm is coming at sea. And the colors in this painting remind me of springtime. And these colors remind me of the fall. This is a drawing. It has hardly no color at all. Many artists like to draw before they paint. And sometimes they paint the same picture several times, but in different ways. The changing of the color changes the mood of the picture. Which do you like best? This is a color wheel. Artists use color wheels to help them understand how to mix colors. In the center of the color wheel, where the triangle is, are the primary colors: yellow, blue, and red. The colors in between those colors are called secondary colors: orange, green, and purple or violet. Those colors are called secondary colors because it takes two primary colors to make one secondary color. Well, we've learned a lot about color. Today we're going to focus on 3 colors, red, yellow, and blue. And if you haven't guessed yet, these are the primary colors. Primary colors make up all the colors of the rainbow. So we'll get started with pencil and a piece of paper. You're going to draw 3 balloons on your paper. Draw one in the center at the top of your paper and then 2 smaller ones on either side. Notice my circle in the center is bigger than the one on the bottom right, and then the other one is a wavy circle. And then I add the string. Now you can copy mine or make up your own, but create 3 balloons. The next step is to add color. You're going to choose yellow, red, and blue. I'm using crayon, but you can use whichever you have, markers, crayons, or colored pencils. So let's begin. I want you to notice the first thing I do is go over the pencil lines with the crayon. I'm starting with the red, but you can start with any color that you like. I'm working on it going in the same direction back and forth. Now, the first step was called outlining. That is when you go over the outside of the shape. Now I'm coloring in. And the best way to color in is going in the same direction and taking your time. Of course, I'll fast forward the video so you could see me doing it very fast. But you should take your time coloring it in. You get the best effects when you're drawing, when you take your time. Don't be in a rush. As you can see, the fast forwarding is going very quickly. And in a second, I'll be finished with my red balloon, the first color of the primary colors, which is red. So moving on to the next balloon. Notice once again, I outlined. I went over the pencil line first. Now I'm coloring it in. Man, that is fast, isn't it? So a reminder, you're going to take your time coloring. Remember yellow. Yellow is the next primary color. And now for the third primary color, blue. Blue's actually my favorite. Notice once again, I did the outline. I went over the outside where the pencil line was, and now I'm coloring in. I'm going back and forth in the same direction. It's really good to practice, taking your time, going over all the colors. And the final step is to add the string. I use black, but you can add any color you like. And here you have it, my 3 primary colored balloons, red, yellow, and blue. Now we're moving on to secondary colors. Secondary colors are green, orange, and purple. Sometimes they call it violet. So if you haven't guessed, the second half of the lesson is all about secondary colors. So it's very similar to the first part of the lesson, but instead of balloons, we're doing kites. And instead of primary colors, we're doing secondary colors, which are orange, green, and purple. So start out with the pencil and paper, draw out your kites, and then add color. The next video will be like warp speed. So here we go. Don't forget to do your outlines and then color in. And Don't worry if you break a crayon like I just did. They're still usable. So as you can see, I did my balloons on one paper and the kites on the other. But if you want, you could do them both on the same page. Just make them a little smaller, that's all. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning all about color, primary and secondary. Till next time, don't forget to take a picture and send it to me. Bye for now.